good, family? Thank you for tuning in to the newest episode of Grits in the City podcast, better known as Girls Raised in the South and the City. I'm your girl, Drea G.
I'm Tasha, also known as the Black Rogue.
And we are the Grits. And what's good, girl? So we back. We in full effect.
Yeah, we definitely are. For this bitch.
Yeah, man. How you doing this week?
Man, my week has been crazy, yo. I have had
as per usual.
Like, for real, and guys, don't judge me just because I always have a story.
Why you always got this disclaimer? Don't judge me.
Because I want people out there, the listeners, to be up there, have a perception of me and shit, and be judging me and shit.
Well, what happened, girl?
So, literally, I was on a train with one of my cousins that's from New York, minding our own business. It was a crowded train. And this nigga literally just pulled out his penis in front of the babies and just started peeing on the fucking train.
What? Hold up. So this is a Subway's Chronicles?
Yes, it was an A train, y'all.
Subway Chronicles.
Yes, some crazy shit. The whole crowd, literally the whole crowd of people saw this nigga pull out his penis. They just ran to the other side of the train. Some niggas still sat there. They didn't give a fuck. They was just like, man, they used to this shit. They sat there while this nigga was peeing.
Was he like a homeless man? Did he seem like he had like a mental illness?
He looked like a regular ass nigga.
Oh, so he just couldn't wait? Like he just couldn't hold it?
Yeah, I don't understand. It was some weird shit. And then the crazy thing is, it was some hood niggas on the train. And they was like, do we need to whoop his ass?
Why y'all ain't jump him? Because he essentially just, punked all y'all. He like, I'm going to pull my dick out. I'm going to pee in front of y'all with y'all kids on the train. And y'all ain't going to do shit.
These poor babies in New York,
y'all
they
just
see
moved.
Everything. They see penises at 5 years old and shit. It's just not. It's not right.
Right. It's not
They
right.
go through shit up here.
It's not a place for kids. I tell people this
really
all
not.
the time. You know, it's a lot of culture up here. It's a lot of great things that you can show your kids, but then you can also show them dicks on the train.
It's not right. It's not right, y'all.
What happened after?
Was about it? The nigga got, and then I get off the train. I got off the train on my stop, and I'm thinking everything straight. Then this nigga get off the stop I get off of. So I'm like, what the fuck? This crazy ass nigga get off my stop. And then the nigga literally is positioning to open up his dick again. And I just started walking quick as fuck. I was going about that bitch. I was just like, I don't have no time. I don't have no time. That nigga be spraying my ass with his pee. And then I would have fucked
need
him
no
up.
R. Kelly's. I will not. No, I don't need no golden showers, bruh. I'm good.
He would have got pepper sprayed that day. That's all I know. He would have got fucked up
with your own pepper spray that you made, or
no, not that. Not your shit. That's your shit.
From the last episode, make your own pepper spray. Thank me later.
Right.
All right, bet. So it's so much stuff going on this week. I know we about to get into our little Poet Up segment. I know the Met was this week.
Yep.
Which, happens every year. We ain't rich yet. So, we just like everybody else kind of weighing in on it. We had a lot of stuff going on, but that's not what I'm pouring up to this week. So my pour up for the week is going to go out to a young songstress who was actually on J. Cole's Dreamville imprint, his label.
Oh.
Her name is Ari Lennox. Yo, I'm feeling her. I love music, everybody, for anybody that knows me. So that's why I'm giving a special shout out to Ari this week. Her debut project, Shea Butter Baby.
Shea Butter Baby.
Shea Butter Baby is the name of her project, but it was also the name of a single that she had on Creed 2, their soundtrack, Shea Butter Baby. So, she had a song there, but she actually titled her album that. It's her debut album. And I mean, this songwriter, this singer is so talented. This project from start to finish, I want to say it's about 9 to 10 tracks.
That's it.
Yeah,
That ain't a lot.
It's easy and it's digestible. It's 12 songs. So my bad.
Good.
And it's only 44 minutes. But the project is phenomenal from start to finish. It was an easy listen to. It's definitely about to be my summer mood. She has some hits, New Apartment, Pop. I'm feeling it. It's about to be my mood for the summer.
She a rapper? She a singer?
She's a singer. She's a singer. She has a real unique voice.
She sound like Macy Gray. Is it Macy Gray unique?
Macy Gray is very unique. She, no, I mean, I guess you could do a parallel, but not really. She got her own style, and she's
She got natural hair.
Natural hair,
okay.
Beautiful chocolate brown skin. She's a DC native.
Oh, okay.
So,
Shout out to DC.
yeah. So shout out to DC. So shout out to Ari Lennox and her debut project because it's dope. So I'm putting you guys on game. So definitely go stream or go buy her project. We got to support each other. Tasha, what you drinking to?
I'm drinking to this black man. He was a former comic. His name is Brian Allen. So I don't know if a lot of you guys know who he is. I think last year he bought the Weather Channel.
Oh.
Buying the Weather Channel, he broke color barriers as in basically it was the first general market cable network ever owned by African American. So now, just recently in the news, this man acquired some sports channels.
Oh, wow.
So he partnered up with the Sinclair Broadcasting Group.
Okay.
So this group, they outbid a lot of actually entertainers. They outbid Ice Cube. He was trying to own it because he has this 3-on-3 tournament. So he was trying to own it. He outbid Serena Williams. So this black man is doing his thing. He's owning these networks.
He must have some coins if he outbidding them.
And he young. He only 53. 50,
okay.
He in his 50s. And he's doing things for a lot of these young men. They can look up to him and see a black man owning different networks. So that's what's up.
Right. That's super dope. All right. So we're going to toast it up to Ari and your guy by the name of Brian Allen. So
cheers.
All
righty.
So we're going to kick it off with our G code segment. And our G code segment rule for this week, that's something, some gems that us Southern women, we like to drop things that we've learned along the way of our journey up here living in New York City, man. And this week, the G code tip is going to be mindful of the company that you keep, make sure that the energy that you surround yourself with is good energy and is productive to your cause and not counterproductive to your cause. Tasha, have you ever come across some people in your path here?
Yes, a lot of negative energy. I got the incense for their asses. That's
and
all
sage and all of that.
Asses. Yes.
Yeah, we burning candles over here. I feel like
crazy people shit around my ass. You need fucking sage everywhere. You need to shit on the train. We need to sage the subways and shit. All this negative energy.
All of that.
Sage the jobs. I need to sage my coworkers. I don't like their asses, but
have you ever realized or have you ever cut certain people out of your life here in New York to where after they weren't a part of it anymore, things just felt lighter? Or
yes, you know what? I'm gonna put some people on blast right now.
I ain't gonna even hold you. Who you gonna put on blast?
It was a crew that I used to volunteer with called an Afro Punk Posse.
Oh.
So before Afro Punk, when everything was new, we all met each other volunteering for free tickets back in the day. So it was a group of us, it was cool at the beginning, and then some people's personalities, it's just I wasn't feeling.
Right.
It was one girl, she was very self-absorbed and she was just childlike, so I cut her ass off and I felt so much better.
That's that's how it be.
The whole crew I cut off. Shit, I just felt so much lighter because I got a strong personality.
Yes,
I do. But shit, I'm a ride or die friend.
Right.
I don't talk about my friends' appearances. I don't talk about my friends' weight. I don't talk about my friends like that. And a lot of the people in this crew, they'll be talking about how people look and shit and body shaming people.
So they just didn't go with your standard and how you like to move. Yeah,
my type of people I like to root. It was negative. So I just had to just
you
cut their asses off. Shit.
Right.
I feel so much better, praise the Lord.
I've definitely had living situations of people where I thought that it was good, but just over time, it just was you know what, this energy is not good for me. And when you here in New York City, you encounter so many people, so you got to know when to cut them and you got to know when to keep them.
Right.
So be mindful of that because it's easy to meet all sorts of people here. But I think that if you're in tune with yourself.
You said cut them? I'm sorry to interrupt. You used to say you got to know how to cut them.
You got to cut them off?
I'm about to say you got to cut these
Cut them. Cut it. Cut them off. Or keep them.
Violence. I was okay.
So just be mindful. So that is our G code tip of the day. And so that is going to bring us to where we at next, Tosh?
That's gonna bring us to our Southern Sound Off. Yeah, that's our segment where, you know, us Southern girls give our perspective living in the big cities on various different topics. So this topic for this week, we're going to talk about seeking validation because of society.
Right. Okay. And, you know, we had something to really kind of fall in our lap this week, and everybody's talking about it. Everybody's weighing in. Ayesha Curry, okay, a woman who is accomplished in her own right. She's a chef. You know,
that bitch can cook.
She's the wife of Steph Curry, the most notorious shooter right now. You know, she's got 3 kids with them. You know, they have a whole family unit. All these things. So recently, she went on Red Table Talk with Jada Pinkett Smith. She says that, you know, for the past 10 years that I've been with Steph, I haven't got any male attention.
She's a lie.
She's like, I haven't got any male attention because all the attention is really directed towards him. He got women, he got groupies galore. You know, women from all walks of life, whether they a school teacher, whether they're a deaconess, whether they're a top model, whether they just a groupie for a living, they throwing themselves at him left and right.
How? He 12.
Cause his bank account ain't 12. That's why. And he's a handsome guy.
It's the other niggas.
It is. Right. But you know, when you're wealthy and you're young,
you know, he's a God sent man ordained through Chick-fil-A and shit. It's the devil.
But her whole argument was, you know, whether that be wrong or right, I have suffered a little bit from some insecurities because I don't get that male attention. I don't get that validation.
Yeah.
You know, and so, you know, that kind of caused an uproar. And you know what? I'm not going to even front because I was definitely one of those people that had opinions, you know. I'm like, this girl, like, what else could you ask for? You didn't gave him 3 babies. You know, you got a good man with a good head on his shoulder. It appears, you know, he seems like he's hands-on with his family. And it's like, you gonna voice this opinion? Like, you gonna give people that ammo and saying,
feel like she lying because this bitch can cook and men love women that can cook.
They do, because
this bitch be in the kitchen, she be cooking all types of shit.
Is that always the first question that men ask you, especially when they know your ass from the
lying.
South?
That bitch lying. Shit, I think because, you know, maybe she season her food and she live in the white areas and they don't fuck with her ass.
Tasha is totally convinced that because she thinks that she lives in an all white area. Yes. That's why that she's not getting male attention. You know what? I don't think that she's getting 0 male attention. I think that she just kind of glazed over it. She like, yeah, I know the janitors and all these riffraff niggas holler at me, but it ain't no money. It's not no men with some real coins or any power like her man currently.
I think this bitch is so focused on her nigga. And she ain't focused on, like, she don't see other niggas trying to holler at her ass. She probably, like, so concerned with trying to fight off groupies and shit. She just, like probably don't even pay attention to the niggas to be like, hey, shorty, hey, cutie. She don't be paying attention to that shit.
She's highly recognizable, and most people...
She be focused on that nigga.
I mean...
Just like most of these bitches.
Yeah, she does, but you know what? What she said, and which was interesting, I didn't listen to the whole interview, but what she did say was, she didn't say that she wasn't getting attention from her man. That's not what she said. Because I'm sure that, you know, when he's not in the playoffs, you know, he seems like he is there with them and with their family. But she just saying that she doesn't get that validation. And to be honest, you know, which is our topic today, validation and seeking validation
in general.
Yes. The thing about it is we all seek it in one way or another. So is she wrong for feeling this type of way? You know, like I said, when I initially looked at it, I'm like, well, what more could you want? And that's how a lot of people think. They're like, you got this millionaire, athlete at the top of his game. Like, what else? Like, men are like, you give a woman a world and now she wants the stars too.
Yeah.
But that's not it. It's like we all need validation in some sense. And doesn't it feel good to get that validation from the opposite sex?
Yeah.
You're human.
I feel like, a lot of women these days, they seek all this validation because they up there, they get plastic surgery and, to get these men and shit.
Right. So my thing is, how can we be pointing the fingers, like
regular women getting fucking plastic surgery? I don't know how they can afford that shit.
Right.
Up there going to DR, spending $5K. They don't have no food and shit in their house.
They ain't got no furniture to sit on when they come back.
Fucking surgery. How you gonna heal yourself, bitch? How you gonna heal yourself? You have no furniture. You ain't
got no bed. You got an air mattress. Get your priorities together. But yeah, so it's just like we point fingers, but when we look at it, it's like our whole society, like in this day and age, we are validation seeking, period. That's why, you got people in droves getting plastic surgery. All these girls on IG, these IG models, like.
But some of that shit fake. Sometimes it's like filters and shit, or it's apps where you can make your waist smaller, make your ass bigger.
Did you ever feel like a certain pressure, like growing up?
No.
Like body wise?
Nope. I never had any.
Tasha just always been confident, bitch.
I never had issues in terms of my size and my body. Like, I had other issues. People teased me, when I was a kid because of my hair. And, that was about it. But
they said I had a big forehead when I was a kid.
But as like literally, I don't know if it's because I'm a military brat and I have traveled like all over, and like when you're a military kid, you meet kids from different places of life. So it's like our culture is not like, we're not around a certain amount of people that all look the same,
right? And
are competing. It's just like it's like a melting pot. So I was a skinny little toothpick. I had no butt. I had no boobs. And when I went to college, I kind of like, I guess I did experience like people were, talking about my body and shit. But I can fuck. I always felt like I was a bad bitch. When I was skinny, when I gained some weight, now, y'all. Lord Jesus, I gained some weight. And I still think I'm a bad bitch.
Right.
I just feel like, I have a mom. I'm very close to my mom. My mom, when I was a little kid, if my mom said, if you don't think you beautiful, how can you expect someone else to think you beautiful? So always think you the baddest bitch. Even if you're not the baddest bitch, think you're the baddest bitch.
That's
what
the
about
thing.
you? You had like experiences?
And you know what? I did to a degree. My whole life, I've always been a petite little thing. Even when I was a kid and I did sports and stuff like that. I mean, for a long time, I was told that I was skinny, and hell, even as an adult, I still get called slim on the streets,
That's a good thing.
And I'll be like, nigga, I ain't that slim. You see this little ass poking?
But that don't mean nothing.
I ain't that slim. But all that to say is, like, yes. So when I was a little kid, I had knobby knees. I was little, but at the same time, I still got attention. So I never was like without attention to where I felt like, oh, I did have that validation. And so even though, I had a certain confidence that, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna front, it did help. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with me, being this little thing and having this big forehead, that's what they would tell me in school. I still, was popular with, little boys and stuff like that. And so I never, like, I knew this. And I remember growing up, I had cousins where I was crushing on their friends. And my cousin would be like, yeah, to get his attention, you're going to have to get like 6 more legs.
They said they was hating.
That's what my cousin told me.
Your cousin hater. You still friends with this cousin?
Yes.
She a hater.
It was a man. It was a boy cousin.
Well, he a hater.
But he was like, you need to da-da-da. But his friends, they're older than me too. They're like 3 years older than me. And I'd be like, oh. But like, so for a long time, I was this little skinny thing. And, it wasn't until older, like I started to fill out. But I've literally always been a petite thing. I didn't let that play into my self-esteem. But I will say that even like as I got older, and I mean, there was a period of time where I was like, I had given up on meat. I had stopped eating meat. So I was really just like more plant-based.
You was eating grass.
I was doing more
You was
seafood
a
than
rabbit,
anything.
girl. You was a rabbit.
I lost a lot of weight, and this was in my early 20s. And so when people were like, what kind of noticed that did make me feel a certain way. They were like, oh, you got smaller. Like it did. And so it did make me kind of want to cut back from that diet a little bit. But at the same time, I've always been comfortable with me. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably because I did have some outside people too to almost reaffirm that for me. But I've always been good for the most part because, you know, I'm raised by a man. So like I wasn't lacking in no confidence, but yeah, you know.
You know, people up there lacking all this damn confidence. What about these little people out there? They got the most confidence on Little People Atlanta, Little People LA.
Oh my God,
They got the most fucking confidence.
Little People of Atlanta.
Maybe because they got big asses and shit. Maybe
They
that's
do.
why. They got some big asses, ain't right?
They do.
One lady on the show, she really confident. She don't, what's the subject we talking about?
Validation.
That bitch
She don't need no validation.
This bitch don't need validation. She got all these fucking babies. This little light skinned girl from I think LA.
Atlanta.
This bitch got all these babies.
She
and
got
shit.
all these babies by the regular size dudes. I'm like, damn.
bitch,
In Atlanta,
little people up there.
I don't want to hear no bitches complaining about how they can't find a straight man when all these little women are getting knocked up by these straight
little women get all these men.
regular size men.
Shit, Ayesha Curry can't even get hollered at. That ain't right.
I think Ayesha's running it up.
Ayesha can't get hollered at. And these women on that show,
I think she
1,000 pounds.
No.
What's that show? 1,000 pounds. What's the fucking show? You know
They got fetishes.
over 600 pounds.
That's why they
got
like 'em.
bitches. They got niggas wiping their asses.
That's because they got fetishes.
They
But
weigh 600 pounds.
I think Ayesha's being a little bit coy. I think that the janitor and the parking lot attendant dudes be hollering at her like, hey, light eyes, like, hey, angel face. But I think that
they be hating on her fucking face.
I think that
you
she
said angel face. That's fucked up.
I think
you
angel.
talking about the girl face.
I said angel.
Oh, you talking about she's an angel. My bad.
Nigga.
People was talking about she had a big face. People hate on her ass.
No, she had an angel
They
face.
said she had a big face in the comments. That's what they was like. Niggas don't want to talk to you because your face is
Oh
big.
my God.
They was hating on her
Whatever.
ass.
But what I'm saying is, I think that she
got a cute
She
big
dismissing all the blue collar workers. She like don't nobody.
She, a rich
She
bitch.
like don't nobody try to holler at me because she mean like
she
nobody
very
in
rich.
Steph's lane be trying to holler at her.
Pretty much, you know, Steph Curry. I think he like that nigga on Tyler Perry's marriage counselor. He ain't showing Journey. Ain't that her name, Journey?
Girl, I don't know, child.
He ain't showing Journey. You didn't watch Tyler Perry?
Baby, I don't watch Tyler Perry like that.
Tyler Perry, the marriage counselor is with Journey on the movie.
Well, the movie you talking about? That's
The movie.
That's with
Lance
the
Gross.
Smollett girl.
Yeah, I thought it was Journey.
Her name is Journey Smollett.
Journey, I fucked up the bitch.
You talking about when she wasn't getting no attention
She's
from her
from her
man,
husband,
and then she ended up cheating with the dude with HIV. Yeah.
Well, hopefully Ayesha don't do that shit. But Curry seemed that boring. He seemed boring as fuck.
Your wife, she want to be thrown up against the wall
She want
sometimes.
her ass thrown in a circle.
She wants you to kind of hem her up and let her know, like, you know,
Like,
I'm
bitch, you a
boss.
bad bitch.
I'm boss.
You know what Curry need to do? Curry need to get one of his athlete friends to hit on her. But hey, just
No,
hit on my wife. Just say she a bad bitch.
I don't know about.
Bitch.
I don't know.
She can feel herself.
I don't know about all that, but I just think that Curry does need to throw up against the wall because women like that shit. We like to be surprised from time to time.
You need
Like,
to hype her ass up.
so just to kind of give you some stats, because I don't know if you know, but per Medical News Today, according to the American Society of Plastic Surgeons, that's ASPS, almost 18 million people underwent surgical and minimally invasive cosmetic procedures in the United States in 2018. So this means that
18 million people.
18 million
These
people,
people got money.
Right.
Shit. They got sugar daddy sponsoring.
or a child, they got roommates, one or the other, or they living at home with their parents.
Shit.
But this total means that there were almost 250,000 more procedures in 2018 than in 2017. So cosmetic surgical procedures have been on the rise in the U.S. over the past 5 years. Like,
True.
what does it amount to? It amounts to more likes. And what does that mean? Like more, I don't know, like marks for your self-esteem? You know, is it gonna add to more zeros in your bank account? I don't know. Sometimes.
Shit.
Sometimes.
You got the right ass.
Sometimes
you get that money, get it, you know.
Or you could have the right ass and your ass could still be living in debt.
True. They wasted surgery.
Hand to mouth.
Fucking surgery. They
like you just said. But you know what? Interestingly,
we don't judge y'all though. We don't judge y'all ladies out there.
It's not about judgment.
Bad shit.
It's not about judgment. It's like, how dare like people look down their nose and say one thing about her, but it's like, but no. It's women that go to DR, they go to these different countries to get these procedures, and they never come home because something went wrong.
Some of them, I got some friends that went to the DR. They ass look good. Their ass look good. They safe. They did a good job.
Right. But that's not always the case.
The crazy thing about Kanye, that nigga still haven't been the same. But his mama died of plastic surgery, trying to get these surgeries and shit, and then he ended up marrying a bitch that got a whole bunch of fucking surgeries.
Well, I think that Kim says that she doesn't have surgery.
That bitch has a lot of fucking surgery.
Anyway, but just to kind of give you some other numbers. Okay, so the top 5 cosmetic surgical procedures in 2018, as reported by the ASPS, they were breast augmentation.
I don't know why.
People still get... Tasha, you got more titties than a little bit.
I ain't trying to...
Other women would love to have your breasts.
I don't know why.
It's people that's not even an A cup.
Niggas like ass.
That's not always true.
And then even with Kim Kardashian, the whole like snapback shit that like I don't know if she started this whole
fucking snapback. She started it.
She started the snapback
trend
competition.
But at the same time, after she dropped her first baby, I'm sure that it was important for her to get back to pre-baby weight. But that's another.
Y'all say all that ass snapback. It's like damn, they lose some women don't lose weight that fucking quick.
Right, and it's it's like right now we're so enamored with the idea of, like you can't even enjoy shit. You can't even enjoy shit is like having your first child or having a baby, bringing a life into this world because you're so damn concerned about the after, like, okay, I got to get back into my pre-baby weight. Like you got so many women so quick to document these things. I understand. Listen, I don't have no babies.
Some people didn't show their damn kids for years. Like for real. Like I feel like Sierra took a long time to show that little girl. And the Carter twins, I only saw them like 2 times.
Well, and I get
they
it.
They damn near 5 years old.
You know what? Because the world isn't. They'll show you they snapback, but they may not show you their kids right away. The world is a nasty place.
Yeah.
If you go on some of these little pages on a social media, it's nothing but negativity. Social media is a whole forum now. Not only do we see pictures, not only do we get access to videos and news, but we are all in a forum together. So it's not just us that are weighing in or giving our opinions. You don't think that celebrities are looking in on this? Yeah, that's why you got clapbacks, because they in comments too.
And they see, the crazy thing about that, it's like, why are so many people, including these celebrities, seeking validation from people that they don't even know? Like, or that these niggas from a can of fucking paint,
or that don't write them checks.
Money. I know. I'm like, bitch, I wouldn't even give a fuck.
Right. I wouldn't even respond. Like, I'd be
like, bitch,
too busy to care.
Let this podcast blow up, y'all. Let this podcast blow up my ass. Shit. Half my friends, I probably ain't gonna see y'all asses, so don't judge me.
Right.
I ain't gonna talk to y'all asses.
I'm already bad.
I'm very rich, bitch. That's how I'm gonna be.
I'm bad with answering texts and sometimes answering calls already. I'm gonna be acting real brand new on your ass.
I'm gonna hire a social media person to handle my shit. I ain't gonna be on social media and shit. I'm gonna let somebody else handle that.
Right. And I understand why people do that, because
they be bored.
And at some point or another, just like us, when you got a clear moment of time, it's like, I'm gonna peruse social media. I'm gonna see what they saying, because sometimes it's comical. But then
like, they wasting time, because I'm like, you that rich, you go to these fancy dinners, fancy spas, and
child,
shit.
And they still be clapping back at people. But you know what? You got to realize too that social media is such a new thing. It's really only something that has really grown by leaps and bounds in the last 10 years or so. Before then, celebrities weren't having to deal with all that shit. Yeah. They weren't. Like they could keep some type of level of mystique about themselves. Like they weren't, like now we're taking pictures. So before it even registers that it's happening to them.
Regular people, celebrities too these days, through social media and shit. That's why they be flexing.
Right.
On the gram and shit.
And that we be seeking validation from social media nowadays. Like it's just what it is. Like from the pictures that people are posting, to the places that they're going.
I know, I was like that for a little bit back in the day. Shit, I was looking at everybody in these travel groups and shit. I know they ass don't have no fucking money. They up there, but they smart. They be traveling places for only $2 and shit. I don't know how
they live with their parents.
They live with their mom and daddy.
Shit.
They don't have no house and traveling to these foreign countries.
Nigga, I wish.
And I was like, you know what? I want to be like them. You know, I seen them flexing and shit. Now I try to do that shit. Now I'm in debt and shit. I don't have no time for that shit.
And that's what be happening too. Because sometimes you be trying to do all this, that, and the third, and keep up with other people.
Posting pictures and shit. I'm in Africa and shit.
Right.
That shit costs
they
money.
Be like, but yeah, like people
flex.
People and the stuff that they buy, they hold it to a high importance. You know, some people, they'll buy a $60,000 car when they got a $30,000 salary. Like, it's just,
they got dreams, girl. Can they have dreams? They gonna make more?
It's called champagne taste on a beer budget is what it's called. But a lot of times that's where that whole keeping up with the Joneses kind of came from. Like, even the stuff that you wearing or the stuff that you buying.
That's
like,
a man be up there buying these sneakers to try to like
women
impress
too.
these women. I mean, yeah, I guess
women ain't buying no red bottoms. They not buying no.
But in New York is like, I mean, New York is so different. Like, I feel like women in New York, yes, some women wear designers. Women that got money. A lot of
women wear designer.
Women that got money and stuff wear designers and shit. Or we got the plug. You know, we ain't just going to be buying designers and live poor.
This is New York City.
Unless we the plug.
They be buying designer.
But we got plugs in New York compared to the South.
A sample
I got a fucking plug.
Is a sample sale a plug?
Should that shit be mad cheap compared to the fucking South?
It be last season.
The South be buying shit. So what? Shit.
But some people care about that though. Those are things. They're like, oh, I don't want to be seen in last season stuff.
New York culture is not. I mean, I feel like New York people wear whatever the fuck they want to wear. They go out. Well, I don't know if it's Brooklyn. I think it's Brooklyn people.
Right.
I don't want to classify all New York people.
You know, they stereotype Brooklyn people. They be like, y'all hippies.
Brooklyn, it's like they wear whatever the fuck. They're not really so concerned about like looks so much
or labels,
like labels. They're not seeking validation in terms of how they dressing and shit. Like, they go out, they look cute. Like, for me, for instance, like, I shop at thrift stores and shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't need to be like rocking these designer. I do got designer shit though. I do got
right.
All the shit be cheap though. They be on the low. Like, I don't be buying nothing no full fucking price, nothing over $100. I don't buy shit like that. If I like it, I'm gonna buy it. I don't need validation because I know I can dress. Shit, I don't need people to be like wearing labels to make me feel like I'm the shit. I know, I know I'm fly.
It's not what's on you. It's not on you. It's in you. That's what they say. That's the saying.
Who said that? Who created that fucking saying?
I don't know. Maybe I
thought it was like
from a
rap
song.
Shit.
I mean, it's the same thing. It's essentially saying the same thing. It's like
the labels. It's how you
it's
wear
like
it
basically
whatever.
It's like you don't make them. Like, they don't make you. You make them.
But you know what? I noticed the woman is different in New York. But I mean, the woman will buy like a little cheap little bag and be faking shit. They don't give a fuck. But
I ain't buying no fakes. I'd rather just have a regular purse. I don't have to have no fake nothing. I don't want no fake nothing.
But niggas will buy real ass expensive shoes in New York. They do that everywhere. They do that in the South too.
Yeah, they do.
To get women. I don't be checking for shoes.
I don't know if they be
check for clean shoes. I don't be knowing like the name brands and shit.
Well,
I don't be knowing none of that shit.
You ain't gotta have no Balenciagas on your feet per se.
I don't even know what that shit look like.
Or some Salvatore Ferragamo necessarily, but your kicks do gotta be clean.
Yeah.
Because women, we like that is one of the first things that we look at. We look down to your feet. If they not clean,
but I don't care about labels and shit.
If you rocking a pair of K-Swiss, then you can't be on my team.
Damn.
K-Swiss.
You bullshit.
That's my thing. K-Swiss, I can't.
K-Swiss gonna be coming
no,
back.
Bitch.
All the rest of these fucking
Reeboks, all that stuff is classic. I don't know.
But shit, they bringing shit from Kmart back.
I don't want no K-Swiss.
They bringing shit from Kmart
if
back.
If you a
now.
dude rocking K-Swiss,
Champions back.
This is true.
You gonna be you ain't gonna fuck with a nigga rocking Champions.
I would. Champion is cool.
That's why people up there got to do all this extra shit.
Listen,
they try to validate
themselves. I want you to be you. Be you. Be free to be yourself. That's what's most attractive to me. Somebody that just live in their truth and do whatever the fuck they want to do. That's me personally, though. But so another way I feel like we seek validation is, especially women, we get told to act a certain way. And I feel like women are brought up with all these different ideologies, and we try to fall in line with them to a degree. Like, I don't know, maybe you haven't had it, but I mean, especially in the South, I feel like, I've heard stuff like act like a lady, or like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, act like a lady, or
you don't know what the fuck act like a lady mean?
I know what act like a lady.
Say, girl,
no, nobody has to tell me to act like
New York too long.
Nobody has to tell me how to act like a lady. But I'm just saying, like, these are things and sayings that we've heard like throughout the course of our life. Like, act like a lady. They don't tell men, like, I don't know if they're like, get your nuts up, like, let your nuts drop, like, I don't know
if they do. They be like, you gotta be manly, a manly man. They give them the same.
They do.
Sayings.
They do, and that's why so many men have a complex about, especially black men, have a complex about coming out as homosexual. Even
for making it feel like if you are a certain way that you're not masculine, you gotta lift up heavy shit. You gotta be into, you can't be into the arts and shit. You gotta be into like very masculine shit.
But we get told the same things, like act like a lady. Like, what does that mean? Like, or like when a woman is like aggressive, or not even aggressive, because that has a negative connotation. Assertive. When a woman is assertive, or a woman is like in a boss position, it's like, oh, like people get intimidated by that because we grow up with these ideologies. Like, no, that's not what it is. It's different. Like, we're multifaceted. We're like a prism. You're gonna get like, we're gonna show various colors.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm ladylike. I don't know about you. Shit.
Right, but I'm just simply saying that these are things that are notions that are handed down to us at young. Be a lady in the streets. And be a freak in they're freak in the sheets. Like, I mean, I don't think that's something that has to be told to women. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to be reinforced. That's gonna be done like regardless. I don't know. Let me ask, like, do you feel that Southern women, like growing up and how we grew up in the region and just a certain environment, do you feel like Southern women are more likely to compromise?
I'm from everywhere. Shit. Virginia, North Carolina, Florida, Texas. They all like that.
Right. So
the women are like, for example, like my mom, she compromised for my dad. Like, she didn't have a career, like a main career, because my dad was in the military. So she was just like, I'm just going to follow you every single where, and support the family and be there for the family. So
right,
yeah, I definitely do.
They place certain importance on certain values. That's family. That's having kids.
We don't do that, society looks at us crazy.
Right, but here in New York, I'm wondering, do women get the same things placed on them? I think that we're more common than we are different.
I don't know. I feel like women in New York, they real black women everywhere is independent, but New York women are like the most independent women that I have ever seen in my life. Right. I don't feel like they need validation.
They do.
You think they need validation?
I think that they still do. And I feel like more than ever, having lived in the South and having lived in the North for all these years, what I've learned is that we may have different approaches to things, but we're more similar than we are different. Like, we may get to the root of a problem differently, but we all come to the same conclusion. It transcends regions.
Man, I'm like, even with, not only like with relationships, with, families, I feel like, we all, like, society has this view on how they want the perfect family, well, the white family to look like, so we aspire to look like, or, maybe the Huxtables. That's how a lot of black people aspire to look like the Huxtables. And we seek validation from our family. Like, for instance, for me, like, my damn family wanted me to be a fucking doctor, y'all. And growing up,
that's not a bad thing.
I mean, it's not bad, but that's what they just thought was the shit. Society just felt like, you a doctor, you're a lawyer, then your kid is smart, your kid is the shit, gonna help out the family.
Which is
but
true.
I wanted to be a fucking dancer, y'all.
Bitch,
I can't dance no more, but I was a shit. I was a shit, y'all, in middle school. Shout out to my middle school people, y'all.
What kind of dancing, girl?
I used to be doing the Maya, Case of the X, choreography and shit.
So you could have been a background dancer. You could be going on tour.
I could have been up there helping Beyonce. My parents fucked up. They fucked up. They fucked me up, y'all. I could have been literally on tour and shit.
No, you're right, because even for me, like, my dad, he just instilled that it's just like sometimes your parents just want you to have the opportunities that they didn't have. And for me, I was like the first person in my immediate family to go to school, to graduate, But when I was in school, like my dad, he wasn't placing expectations on me. He just wanted me to do good. You know what I'm saying? And he wanted my interest to be in accounting. He wanted me to focus on finance. All these things that they weren't necessarily my forte. I always wanted to be on a more creative end of business. I wanted to be like with, creating ideas and visions. And for a while, like for the first 2 years that I was in college, I was in majors that my father was suggesting, because they made sense. And this is what was going to bring in the money. And I got that to a sense, but it just wasn't my forte.
And like even with the different careers that you just spoke of, like once we get in these careers, we want validation like on our job.
Yeah,
that's why people up these days, they be posting all these pictures. Oh, I got a raise, I got promoted and shit. Like I give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean? But we want validation to know that we doing great in terms of whatever career we have.
You know what? May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So, like, we say all that just to be mindful. And it's just like, it's so easy to cast judgment on people. We all are looking for validation in something or someone, period.
Right.
And so, yeah, so just be mindful and tap into yourself, especially this month, because that's what it's all about. Like taking care of self. Self-care is the best care. All right, so that is going to kick it off to our grits pick of the week segment. And so, when we do our grits pick, it's another girl raised in the South doing her thing, or a guy raised in the South doing their thing. And so this week, I actually have an interesting one, which is cool because they're like a hybrid, kind of like us, Tasha. So the grits that I'm giving my grits pick to this week is a woman by the name of Brandis Daniel, and she is actually a Memphis native. Okay, so but she lives here in New York. She's been a resident in New York for some years. I don't know how long, but she's actually the founder of Harlem Fashion Row. And so if you know anything about it, basically she created this organization to highlight, promote, and grow multicultural designers.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yep. So right in Harlem, and Daniel, she spearheaded this collaboration with Nike and LeBron James. And what she did was her and this team of designers.
How the fuck she beat LeBron James?
Exactly. Through Harlem Fashion Row. Oh. She created this platform to where she's gathering all these multicultural designers of color. And she's kind of giving them a platform. And this kind of happened, and this was spurned through, Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week. Because as you know, it's not a lot of color in during Fashion Week. It's not.
Yeah, I know. I watched Project Runway.
Right. It's very few people of color. So what she was able to do with her organization.
We the ones that got the fucking style. They be up there stealing our shit.
Right. So what's interesting is that this Memphis native who had no clue when she was starting out. She has accomplished so much. So she has started up this organization to be a platform for other emerging designers. And what she did was she sourced out prominent, impactful designers from Harlem Fashion Row community. And she decided to go with Project Runway alum Kimberly Goldson and contemporary lifestyle designer Andra Duncan and Faye Noel. And what they did was they co-designed James's HFR by LeBron 16 sneaker.
That's what's up.
And
I like LeBron. He's helping out the people.
This was a Nike shoe for women, designed by women. And this whole shoe was geared towards women of color to kind of show their strength and just their versatility. So, which is super dope. And the first collection that they had is sold out in 5 minutes. Okay. So they already created this line. But why I'm giving her the nod this week is because they're dropping this brand new collection, the second collection, and it's available May 10th, 2019. The first collection sold out in 5 minutes, but this new collection is unisex, and it's
dope.
Still by all women designers, and so it's super dope. All women of color, so I rock with it. I think that it's super dope, and she's someone like me, you know, from another part of the world, here, putting her flag down, making her presence known, creating something that's not just for herself, but something that others can take from and gain from. So shout out to Brandis Daniel with Harlem Fashion Row.
Shout out to you, girl. All right, so this brings us to our next segment, Bless Your Heart. So this week I'm blessing my heart to the people in Georgia, the people that passed this damn law, this abortion law. I think you can't have abortion after 6 weeks in Georgia, and also any woman that travels outside of Georgia to try to get an abortion after those 6 weeks, she will be prosecuted. So I just feel like that's some lame ass shit.
She could be prosecuted?
Yeah, if she travels after 6 weeks.
And hold up, what kind of penalty does that hold? Like
prison.
Like for how long?
Bitch, I don't know. I ain't the cops, but this
Hold
bitch,
on.
oh yeah, it's up to 10 years.
Wow.
And then the law also states that if a woman who miscarries, she could also be considered liable for second degree murder if they can prove that it was her fault for miscarrying. And she can face prison up to 30 years. Crazy as fuck. I used to feel like Georgia was a black, a state, but obviously it's not, because this abortion law, unless these, black people are conservative and shit.
Crazy.
And my thing is like, I don't know, like I'm not here just for like, regular abortion and shit like that, but I support that it's a woman's right.
It's a woman's choice.
Like, I support that.
And I strongly feel that men or a political office, I don't feel like anyone or anybody should be, helping to decide the fate of that.
I feel you on that.
I feel like
man. Like I feel like how the fuck is they gonna tell us what the fuck to do to our fucking
with
bodies?
our bodies?
They don't have no fucking period.
Exactly.
They don't get birth. Don't have.
You ain't got no uterus.
And up there trying to tell us shit like this in 6 weeks. That's
the hell
crazy. Because some women don't even know that they pregnant, like within 6 weeks.
Right.
So that's really crazy.
You know that you can get your cycle up to 3 months, like pregnant, like really, like.
Yeah, because I used to watch that damn show. That show back in the day. I didn't know I was pregnant and
right.
shit. And I was like,
and
what
then
the
women
fuck?
End up
Bitches
pregnant and have babies on the toilet.
People that have babies, and this one bitch on the show. I don't know why I'm calling her a bitch. Don't judge me for my language, y'all. But this one lady, she had a damn baby, and she was working at McDonald's and shit.
She ain't know, Tasha.
She went to the. I was like, bitch.
She ain't know, but that means
the grease must have popped on her and popped on the baby and shit. The baby was like, I gotta come out this shit.
You need to be more in tune with yourself if you don't know that you pregnant.
Like, how the fuck these bitches
don't
know they fucking pregnant?
If you don't know that you pregnant, baby girl.
That's what these fucking Congress people probably like, bitch, your ass should know that you fucking pregnant.
Right, like
some women, they do wait a little bit too fucking long to fucking get abortion.
Now,
I don't agree with that.
Right. You shouldn't be trying to abort no child in no 6 months.
7 months
pregnant.
Shit.
No. You waited too late, baby. You got to give them up for adoption at this point.
I know, right? Shit.
So that's going to take us to our thought of the day. So we're going to leave out on a positive note. So in lieu of it being Mental Health Awareness Month, this is what I'm going to leave us with. Okay, so.
Hey, that damn positive. Girl, it seemed depressing.
Self-help.
Oh, okay. Self-help. Okay.
Okay, so some self-help tips. It's just like 5 of them. Okay. So I like this little read. It says self-help. How to stop time. Kiss. How to travel in time. Read. How to escape time. Music. And how to feel time. Write. How to release time. Breathe. Just a couple of things.
Oh, that's deep, girl. Stay woke.
Is
girl.
It deep?
That's deep, girl. Yes, girl.
No, I just think that, sometimes in our day-to-day, like, we get so caught up that we don't even see no more. We're not even enjoying life and the fullness that there is. Like it's another
social
one.
Media. They look at the other bitches on social media. That's why.
Right. So these are
Stop looking at those bitches on social media.
Right.
They fake flexing.
Kiss your man. Go read a book.
Shit, at least they got fucking man.
Go turn on a new album. Listen to Ari Lennox. Let it get you in a mood. Go write out your thoughts.
Well, write some poetry and shit.
Read or go do some yoga. Go run.
I used to write poetry when I was a kid. I was a dark child. I was, in the dark.
Is that dark or is that just expressing yourself?
I was going through shit. No, I was like, this mental health awareness. When I was a kid, I was quiet, y'all.
You had a lot of angst.
For a lot of people that don't know me, they know me now. They think I'm like this big bubbly type of person. I was really like, quiet, kind of a little depressing type of child. Like, because I was quiet, I was teased and shit. And like, I wrote poetry. So, like what you just said, sometimes you gotta
I used to write poetry.
Girl, I was the shit with poetry. All my shit was a little sad and shit.
It's a wrap for us. Thank you for tuning in to the latest episode of Grits in the City podcast. Check us out next week for an all brand new episode, as we'll definitely be keeping this spicy. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the pod on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud. You can even check us out on YouTube and other streaming platforms. And be sure to visit us at www.gritsandthecitypodcast.com. Join our mailing list on Facebook.com. And hey, don't forget to tell your friends and family. All right, deuces.
Peace, y'all.